Good morning. Welcome to Eat, Breathe, and Pray. We are here for our Through the Bible in 1 Year reading. It is day 215 of our Through the Bible in 1 Year journey, and our reading for today comes from Ezekiel chapters 43 through 48. So if you want to grab your Bible ready, and we will begin the reading in just a moment, and we'll pray first. So, Father, I just thank you for this time. I thank you for your faithfulness, oh God. We just set aside those things that would distract, those things that would intrude, the things of the day that can wait, just to be with you, Lord God. You are worthy and you are holy. You are worthy of it all. You are worthy of it all. Have your way in me and through me this day. For the glory of your name. Thank you for your presence, God. All we have to do is turn back in faith and in trust. For the veil is truly torn in half, and there is no longer any separation. By the blood of Christ, between us and you and us. Oh Lord, thank you. And from this place of your presence, O God. Ezekiel chapters 43 through 48. Ezekiel 43. Then he led me to the gate facing toward the east. And behold, the glory of the God of Israel was coming from the way of the east. And his voice was like the sound of many waters, and the earth shone with his glory. And it was like the appearance of the vision which I saw, like the vision which I saw when he came to bring the city to ruin. And the visions were like the vision which I saw by the river Chebar, and I fell on my face. And the glory of Yahweh came into the house by the way of the gate facing toward the east. And the Spirit lifted me up and brought me into the inner court. And behold, the glory of Yahweh filled the house. Then I heard one speaking to me from the house, while a man was standing beside me. He said to me, Son of man, this is the place of my throne and the place of the soles of my feet. where I will dwell among the sons of Israel forever. And the house of Israel will not again defile my holy name, neither they nor their kings, by their harlotry and by the corpses of their kings when they die, by putting their threshold by my threshold, and their doorpost beside my doorpost, with the only, sorry, excuse me, with only the wall between me and them. And they have defiled my holy name by their abominations which they have done. So I have consumed them in my anger. Now let them put away their harlotry and the corpses of their kings far away from me, and I will dwell among them forever. As for you, Son of Man, describe the house of Yahweh to the house of Israel, that they may feel dishonor for their iniquities, and let them measure that pain, measure the plan. If they feel dishonor for all that they have done, make known to them the design of the house, its structure, its exits, its entrances, all its designs, all its statutes, and all its laws, and write it in their sight, so that they may keep its whole design and all its statutes and do them. This is the law of the house. Within its entire boundary, on the top of the mountain around, shall be most holy. Behold, this is the law of the house. And these are the measurements of the altar by cubits, the cubit being a cubit and a handbreadth. The base shall be a cubit, and the width a cubit, and its border on its edge round about one span. And this shall be the height of the base of the altar. And from the base on the ground to the lower ledge, shall be 2 cubits, and the width 1 cubit. And from the smaller ledge to the larger ledge shall be 4 cubits, and the width 1 cubit. And the altar hearth shall be 4 cubits, and from the altar hearth shall extend upwards 4 horns. Now the altar hearth shall be 12 cubits long by 12 wide, square in its 4 sides. The ledge shall be 14 cubits long by 14 wide in its 4 sides. And the border around it shall be half a cubit, and its base shall be a cubit round about, and its steps shall face the east. And he said to me, Son of man, thus says the Lord Yahweh, these are the statutes for the altar on the day it is made, to offer burnt offerings on it, and to splash blood on it. And you shall give to the Levitical priests who are from the seed of Zadok, who draw near to me to minister to me, declares Lord Yahweh, a bull from the herd for a sin offering. You shall also take some of its blood and put it on its 4 horns, and on the 4 corners of the ledge, and on the border round about. Thus you shall purify it and make atonement for it. And you shall take the bull for the sin offering, and it shall be burned in the appointed place of the house, outside the sanctuary. Now on the second day you shall bring near a male goat without blemish for a sin offering, and they shall purify the altar as they purified it with the bull. When you have finished purifying it, you shall present a bull from the herd without blemish, and a ram without blemish from the flock. And you shall bring them near before Yahweh, and the priests shall throw salt on them, and they shall offer them up as a burnt offering to Yahweh. For 7 days you shall offer daily a goat for a sin offering, also a bull from the herd, and a ram from the flock, without blemish, shall be offered. For 7 days they shall make atonement for the altar and purify it. So shall they ordain it. So they will complete the days. And it shall be that on the 8th day and onward, the priests shall offer on the altar your burnt offerings and your peace offerings, and I will accept you, declares Lord Yahweh. Ezekiel chapter 44. Then he brought me back by the way of the outer gate of the sanctuary, which faces the east, and it was shut. Yahweh said to me, This gate shall be shut, it shall not be opened, and no one shall enter by it. For Yahweh, the God of Israel, has entered by it. Therefore it shall be shut. As for the prince, he shall sit in it as prince, to eat bread before Yahweh. He shall enter by the way of the porch of the gate, and he shall go out by the same way. Then he brought me by way of the north gate to the front of the house, and I looked, and behold, the glory of Yahweh filled the house of Yahweh, and I fell on my face. Then Yahweh said to me, Son of man, set your heart on and see with your eyes, and hear with your ears all that I say to you concerning all the statutes of the house of Yahweh, and concerning all its laws. And set your heart on the entrance of the house, with all exits of the sanctuary. And you shall say to the rebellious ones, to the house of Israel, Thus says Lord Yahweh, Enough of all your abominations, O house of Israel. When you brought in foreigners, uncircumcised in heart and uncircumcised in flesh, to be in my sanctuary, to profane it, even my house. When you brought near my food, the fat and the blood, so they made my covenant void, this in addition to all your abominations. And you have not kept the responsibility of my holy things yourselves, but you have set foreigners as keepers of the responsibility given by me for my sanctuary. Thus says Lord Yahweh, No foreigner, uncircumcised in heart and uncircumcised in flesh, of all the foreigners who are among the sons of Israel, shall enter my sanctuary. But the Levites who went far from me when Israel went astray, who went astray from me after their idols, shall bear the punishment for their iniquity. Yet they shall be ministers in my sanctuary, having oversight at the gates of the house, and ministering in the house. They shall slaughter the burnt offering and sacrifice for the people, and they shall stand before them to minister to them. Because they ministered to them before their idols, and became a stumbling block of iniquity to the house of Israel. Therefore I have sworn against them, declares Lord Yahweh, that they shall bear the punishment for their iniquity. And they shall not approach me to minister as a priest to me, nor approach any of my holy things, to the things that are most holy. But they will bear their dishonor and their abominations which they have done. Yet I will appoint them as keepers of the responsibility for the house, of all its service, and all that shall be done in it. But the Levitical priests, the sons of Zadok, who kept the responsibility of my sanctuary when the sons of Israel went astray from me, shall come near to me to minister to me, and they shall stand before me to bring near to me the fat and the blood, declares Lord Yahweh. They shall enter my sanctuary, they shall come near to my table to minister to me, and keep the responsibility given by me. And it will be that when they enter at the gates of the inner court, they shall be clothed with linen garments, and wool shall not be on them while they are ministering in the gates of the inner court and in the house. Linen headdresses shall be on their heads, and linen undergarments shall be on their loins. They shall not gird themselves with anything which makes them sweat. And when they go out into the outer court to the people, they shall put off their garments in which they have been ministering, and lay them in the holy chambers. Then they shall put on other garments, so that they will not transmit holiness to the people with their garments. Also, they shall not shave their heads, yet they shall not let their locks grow long. They shall only trim the hair of their heads. Nor shall any of the priests drink wine when they enter the inner court. And they shall not take a widow or a divorced woman as a wife, but shall take virgins from the seed of the house of Israel, or a widow who is the widow of a priest. Moreover, they shall instruct my people about the difference between the holy and the profane, and make them know the difference between the unclean and the clean. And in a dispute they shall take their stand to judge. They shall judge it according to my judgments. They shall also keep my laws and my statutes in all my appointed times, and keep my Sabbaths holy. But they shall not go to a dead person to make themselves unclean. However, for father, for mother, for son, for daughter, for brother, or for a sister who has not had a husband, they may make themselves unclean. And after he is cleansed, 7 days shall be counted for him. And on the day that he goes into the sanctuary, into the inner court to minister in the sanctuary, he shall bring near his sin offering, declares Lord Yahweh. And it shall be with regard to and it shall be with regard to an inheritance for them, that I am their inheritance, and you shall give them no possession in Israel. I am their possession. They shall eat the grain offering, the sin offering, and the guilt offering, and every devoted thing in Israel shall be theirs, and the first of all the first fruits of every kind, and every contribution of every kind, from all your contributions, shall be for the priests. You shall also give to the priest the first of your dough, to cause a blessing to rest on your house. The priests shall not eat any bird or beast that has died of itself or has been torn to pieces. Ezekiel chapter 45. And when you divide by lot the land for inheritance, you shall offer a contribution to Yahweh, a holy portion of the land. The length shall be the length of 25 cubits, and the width shall be 20,000. It shall be holy within all its boundary round about. Out of this there shall be for the holy place a square round, about 500 by 500 cubits, and 50 cubits for its open space round about. And from this area you shall measure a length of 25,000 cubits, and a width of 10,000 cubits, and in it shall be the sanctuary, the holy of holies. It shall be the holy portion of the land. It shall be for the priests, the ministers of the sanctuary, who come near to minister to Yahweh. And it shall be a place for their houses, and a holy place for the sanctuary. And an area 25,000 cubits in length, and 10,000 in width shall be for the Levites, the ministers of the house, and for their possession as cities to dwell in. And you shall give the city possession of an area 5,000 cubits wide and 25,000 cubits long, alongside the contribution of the holy portion. It shall be for the whole house of Israel. Now the prince shall have land on either side of the holy contribution, in the city's possession of land, adjacent to the holy contribution, and the city's possession of land, on the west side toward the west, and on the east side toward the east. and in length comparable to one of the portions from the west border to the east border. This shall be his land for a possession in Israel. So my princes shall no longer mistreat my people, but they shall give the rest of the land to the house of Israel according to their tribes. Thus says Lord Yahweh: Enough, you princes of Israel. Put away violence and devastation, and do justice and righteousness. Stop your eviction of my people, declares Lord Yahweh. You shall have just balances, a just ephah, and a just bath. The ephah and the bath shall be the same quantity, so that the bath will contain a tenth of a homer, and the ephah a tenth of a homer. Their standard shall be according to the homer. And the shekel shall be 20 gerahs, 20 shekels, 25 shekels, and 15 shekels shall be your manna. This is the contribution that you shall offer: a sixth of an ephah from a homer of wheat, a sixth of an ephah from a homer of barley, and the statute for the oil, namely, the bath of oil, a tenth of a bath from each core, which is 10 baths or a homer. For 10 baths are a homer. And one sheep from each flock of 200 from the watering places of Israel, for a grain offering, for a burnt offering, and for peace offerings, to make atonement for them, declares Lord Yahweh. All the people of the land shall give to this contribution for the prince in Israel. And it shall be the prince's part to provide the burnt offerings, the grain offerings, and the drink offerings at the feasts, on the new moons, and on the Sabbaths, at all the appointed times of the house of Israel. He shall provide the sin offering, the grain offering, the burnt offering, and the peace offerings, to make atonement for the house of Israel. Thus says Lord Yahweh: In the first month, on the first of the month, you shall take a bull from the herd without blemish, and purify the sanctuary. The priest shall take some of the blood from the sin offering, and put it on the doorposts of the house, on the four corners of the ledge of the altar, and on the posts of the gate of the inner court. Thus you shall do on the seventh day of the month for everyone who errs or is simple minded. So you shall make atonement for the house. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, you shall have the Passover, a feast of 7 days. Unleavened bread shall be eaten. And on that day the prince shall provide for himself and all the people of the land a bull for a sin offering. And during the 7 days of the feast he shall provide as a burnt offering to Yahweh 7 bulls and 7 rams without blemish on each every day of the 7 days, and a male goat daily for a sin offering. And he shall provide as a grain offering an ephah with a bull, an ephah with a ram, and a hin of oil with an ephah. In the 7th month, on the 15th day of the month, at the feast, he shall provide like this 7 days for the sin offering, the burnt offering, the grain offering, and the oil. Ezekiel chapter 46. Thus says Lord Yahweh: The gate of the inner court facing east shall be shut the 6 working days, but it shall be opened on the Sabbath day, and opened on the day of the new moon. Then the prince shall enter by the way of the porch of the gate from outside, and stand by the post of the gate. Then the priests shall offer his burnt offering and his peace offerings, and he shall worship at the threshold of the gate, and then go out. But the gate shall not be shut until the evening. And the people of the land shall also worship at the entrance of that gate before Yahweh on the Sabbaths and on the new moons. Now the burnt offering which the prince shall bring near to Yahweh on the Sabbath day shall be 6 lambs without blemish, and a ram without blemish. And the grain offering shall be an ephah with the ram, and the grain offering with the lambs shall be a gift from his hand. Excuse me, as well as a hin of oil with an ephah. And on the day of the new moon he shall offer a bull from the herd without blemish, also 6 lambs and a ram, which shall be without blemish. And he shall provide a grain offering, an ephah with the bull, an ephah with the ram, and with the lambs as much as he is able, and a hin of oil with an ephah. And when the prince enters, he shall go in by the way of the porch of the gate, and go out the same way. And when the people of the land come before Yahweh at the appointed times, he who enters by way of the north gate to worship shall go out by the way of the south gate, and he who enters by way of the south gate shall go out by the way of the north gate. No one shall return by the way of the gate by which he entered, but shall go straight out. So when they go in, the priest shall go in among them, and when they go out, he shall go out. Now at the feasts and the appointed times, the grain offering shall be an ephah with a bull, and an ephah with a ram, and with the lambs shall be a gift from his hand, as well as a hin of oil with an ephah. And when the priest provides a freewill offering, a burnt offering, or peace offerings as a freewill offering to Yahweh, the gate facing east shall be opened for him, and he shall provide his burnt offering and his peace offerings as he does on the Sabbath day. Then he shall go out, and the gate shall be shut after he goes out. And you shall provide a lamb a year and you shall provide a lamb a year old without blemish for a burnt offering to Yahweh daily. Morning by morning you shall provide it. Also you shall provide a grain offering with it morning by morning, a sixth of an ephah, as well as a third of a hin of oil to moisten the fine flour, a grain offering to Yahweh continually by a perpetual statute. Excuse me. Thus they shall provide the lamb, the grain offering, and the oil, morning by morning, for a continual burnt offering. Thus says Lord Yahweh, if the prince gives a gift out of his inheritance to any of his sons, it shall belong to his sons. It is their possession by inheritance. But if he gives a gift from his inheritance to one of his servants, it shall be until the year of liberty. Then it shall return to the prince. His inheritance shall be only his sons, it shall belong to them. Now the prince shall not take from the people's inheritance, mistreating them out of their possession. He shall give his sons inheritance from his own possession, so that my people will not be scattered, anyone from his possession. Then he brought me through the entrance, which was at the side of the gate, into the holy chambers for the priests, which faced north. And behold, there was a place at the extreme rear toward the west. Then he said to me, this is the place where the priests shall boil the guilt offering and the sin offering, and where they shall bake the grain offering, in order that they may not bring them out into the outer court to transmit holiness to the people. Then he brought me out into the outer court, and he had me pass through to the 4 corners of the court. And behold, in every corner of the court there was a small court. In the 4 corners of the court there were enclosed courts, 40 cubits long and 30 wide. These 4 in the corners were the same size. Now there was a row of masonry round about in them, around the 4 of them, and boiling places were made under the rows round about. Then he said to me, These are the boiling places where the ministers of the house shall boil the sacrifices of the people. Excuse me. Ezekiel chapter 47. Then he brought me back to the door of the house, and behold, water was flowing from under the threshold of the house toward the east, for the house faced east. And the water was flowing down from under from the right side of the house, from south of the altar. He brought me out by the way of the north gate and led me around by way of the gate. By way of the outside to the outer gate by way of the gate that faces east. And behold, water was trickling from the south side. When the man went out toward the east with his line in his hand, he measured 1,000 cubits, and he had me pass through the water reaching the ankles. Again, he measured 1,000 and had me pass through the water reaching the knees. Again, he measured 1,000 and had me pass through the water reaching the loins. Again, he measured 1,000, and it was a river that I could not pass through, for the water had become high, enough water to swim in, a river that could not be passed through. And he said to me, Son of man, have you seen this? Then he led and returned. Then he led and returned me back to the bank of the river. When I had returned, now behold, on the bank of the river there were very many trees on the one side and on the other. Then he said to me, These waters go out toward the eastern region and go down into the Araba. Then they go toward the sea, being made to flow out to the sea, and the waters of the sea will be healed. And it will be that every living creature which swarms in every place where the river goes will live. And there will be very many fish, for these waters go there, and the other waters are healed. So everything will live where the river goes. And it will be that fishermen will stand beside it, from En Gedi to Eneglaim. Eneglaim. There will be a place for the spreading of nets. Their fish will be according to their kinds, like the fish of the great sea, very many. But its marshes and swamps will not be healed, for they will be left for salt. And by the river on its bank, on one side and on the other, will grow all kinds of trees for food. Their leaves will not wither, and their fruit will not fail. They will bear every month, because their water flows out from the sanctuary, and their fruit will be for food, and their leaves for healing. Thus says Lord Yahweh, this shall be the boundary by which you shall apportion the land for an inheritance among the 12 tribes of Israel. Joseph shall have 2 portions. You shall then apportion it for an inheritance, each one equally with the other. For I swore to give it to your fathers, and this land shall fall to you as an inheritance. This shall be the boundary on the land. On the north side, from the great sea by the way of Hethlon to the entrance of Zedad, Hamath, Berotha, Zibraim, which is between the border of Damascus and the border of Hamath, Hazer Hadakon, which is by the border of Horon. And the boundary shall be from the sea to Hazar Eneth at the border of Damascus, and on the north toward the north, and on the north toward the north is the border of Hamath. This is the north side. And on the east side, from between Haran Damascus, Gilead, and the land of Israel shall be the Jordan. From the north border to the eastern sea you shall measure. This is the east side. And the south side toward the south shall extend from Tamar as far as the waters of Merabath Kadesh, to the brook of Egypt, and to the great sea. This is the south side toward the south. And the west side shall be the great sea, from the south border to a point opposite Lebo Hamath. This is the west side. So you shall divide this land among yourselves according to the tribes of Israel. And it will be that you shall divide it by lot for an inheritance among yourselves and among the sojourners who sojourn in your midst, who bring forth sons in your midst. And they shall be to you as the native born among the sons of Israel. They shall be allotted an inheritance with you among the tribes of Israel. And it will be that in the tribe with which the sojourner sojourns, there you shall give him his inheritance, declares Lord Yahweh. Ezekiel chapter 48. Now these are the names of the tribes from the northern extremity, beside the way of Hethlon to Lebo Hamath, as far as Hazar Enan, at the border of Damascus, toward the north, beside Hamath, running from east to west. Dan, one portion, and beside the border of Dan, from the east side to the west side, Asher, one portion. And beside the border of Asher, from the east side to the west side, Naphtali, one portion. And beside the border of Naphtali, from the east side to the west side, Manasseh, one portion. And beside the border of Manasseh, from the east side to the west side, Ephraim, one portion. And beside the border of Ephraim, from the east side to the west side, Reuben, one portion. And beside the border of Reuben, from the east side to the west side, Judah, one portion. And beside the border of Judah, from the east side to the west side, shall be the contribution which you shall contribute, 25,000 cubits in width and in length, like one of the portions, from the east side to the west side, and the sanctuary shall be in the middle of it. The contribution that you shall contribute to Yahweh shall be 25,000 cubits in length and 10,000 in width. And the holy contribution shall be for these, namely for the priests. Toward the north, 25,000 cubits in length. Toward the west, 10,000 in in width. Toward the east, 10,000 in width. And toward the south, 25,000 in length. And the sanctuary of Yahweh shall be in its midst. It shall be for the priests who are sanctified of the sons of Zadok, who have kept the responsibility given by me, who did not go astray when the sons of Israel went astray, as the Levites went astray. And it shall be a contribution to them from the contribution of the land, a holy of holies, by the border of the Levites. Now, alongside the border of the priests, the Levites shall have 25,000 cubits in length and 10,000 in width. The whole length shall be 25,000 cubits, and the width 10,000. Moreover, they shall not sell or exchange any of it, or let this choice portion of land pass over to another, for it is holy to Yahweh. And the remainder, 5,000 cubits in width and 25,000 in length, shall be for the common use of the city, for places of habitation, and for open spaces, and the city shall be in its midst. And these shall be its measurements: the north side, 4,500 cubits, The south side 4,500 cubits, the east side 4,500 cubits, and the west side 4,500 cubits. And the city shall have open spaces on the north 250 cubits, and on the south 250 cubits. Excuse me, and on the east 250 cubits, and on the west 250 cubits. And the remainder of the length alongside the holy contribution shall be 10,000 cubits toward the east, and 10,000 toward the west. And it shall be alongside the holy contribution, and its produce shall be food for the workers of the city. The workers of the city out of all the tribes of Israel shall cultivate it. The whole contribution shall be 25,000 by 25,000 cubits. You shall contribute the holy contribution, a square, within the city's possession of land. And the remainder shall be for the prince, on the one side and on the other, of the holy contribution and of the city's possession of land, in front of the 25,000 cubits of the contribution toward the east border, and westward in front of the 25,000 toward the west border. Alongside the portions it shall be for the prince. And the holy contribution and the sanctuary of the house shall be in the middle of it. And apart from the Levites' possession and the city's possession, which are in the middle of that, which belongs to the priest, everything between the border of Judah and the border of Benjamin shall be for the prince. Now, as for the rest of the tribes, from the east side to the west side, Benjamin one portion, and from beside the border of Benjamin, from the east side to the west side, Simeon one portion, and beside the border of Simeon, from the east side to the west side, Issachar one portion, and beside the border of Issachar, from the east side to the west side, Zebulun one portion, and beside the border of Zebulun, from the east side to the west side, Gad one portion, and beside the border of Gad, at the south side toward the south, the border shall be from Tamar to the waters of Meribeth Kadesh, to the brook of Egypt, to the great sea. This is the land which you shall divide by lot to the tribes of Israel for an inheritance, and these are their several portions, declares Lord Yahweh. And these are the exits of the city on the north side, 4,500 cubits by measurement, and the gates of the city shall be named for the tribes of Israel, 3 gates toward the north: the gate of Reuben, 1; the gate of Judah, 1; the gate of Levi, 1. And on the east side, 4,500 cubits shall be three gates: the gate of Joseph, 1; the gate of Benjamin, 1; the gate of Dan, 1. And on the south side, 4,500 cubits by measurement shall be 3 gates: the gate of Simeon, 1; the gate of Issachar, 1; the gate of Zebulun, 1. On the west side, 4,500 cubits shall be 3 gates: the gate of Gad, 1; the gate of Asher, 1; the gate of Naphtali, 1. The city shall be 18,000 cubits round about, and the name of the city from that day shall be Yahweh is there. And that brings us to the end of Ezekiel. That was our reading for today. That was Ezekiel 43 through 48. Join us again tomorrow for our Through the Bible in 1 Year reading. Tomorrow's reading will be from John chapters 1 and 2. So join us for that. Until then, go in the knowledge and the awareness of the presence of God with you, of His great love for you, and of His Holy Spirit dwelling in you. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Pray for the people of Israel. Pray the promises and the prophecies of Scripture over them. And pray without ceasing for whatever it is that God has called you to, whatever He has given you influence over or authority over. Pray from that place of His presence, that place of stillness and rest, where you can hear His voice and know His heart, so that you know that what you are praying comes straight from the heart of the Father. And be blessed and be a blessing.